Hello, my name is Nicky Alexiou from Selo Armensko. We're here this evening at Canadian Macedonian Place in April the 23rd, 1993 to have an interview with George Tsolakopoulos today. And George, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. How's yourself?
Very good, thank you. It happens to be your name day today?
All right.
That's very good. Well, we're going to start now with some of the questions I want to ask you. I want you to tell me your full name, your age, and where you come from.
It's my name, George Tsolakopoulos. I'm 65 right now. Born, it's 27th the 2nd, 1928. And I born just outside from Hrupiste, I should say. It's a small town, they call it Molasi.
Molasi. How were you born in that particular town? How large of a town is it?
About 50 families.
60 families. Were your family originated from there, or
yes.
All the way back? What language do they speak in your village?
In my village, they speak Greek.
They speak Greek. How old is the village? What is the...
They built sometime, about 300 years ago, I say, the time the Turks was there. And some people, they left from some place, we don't know yet, exactly. And they come in there, and they make 4 houses, and the 4 houses comes to 60 now.
What is the, how do people make their living in that particular small town?
Well, they raise tobaccos, kalaboki, Georgika, general,
In general. What was your faith? What is your religion, the church in the village?
Aegean Macedonia.
Which is
St. Nicholas.
Greek Orthodox.
Greek Orthodox.
Yes. The village, do you have mountains or
yes.
The scenery? What does the town look like?
They have mountains, they have, correct people.
Yes. How large was your family?
I have 4 sisters, father and mother, and me.
And what were their names?
For my sisters?
Yes.
Sophie, Nicky, Iphigenia, and Anastasia.
And what was your father doing for support, for living?
Well, he's got some land there, he makes tobacco, he makes σιτάρια, καλαμπόκια, αυτά ό,τι υπήρχαν, ας πούμε.
How was your schooling with the schools? Did you have good schools, good education in your village, or?
Well, we have a public school there. After that, I've been 3 years in a high school.
And where did you go to high school?
Castoria.
So you went to Castoria, another place. What was the daily routine of your lifestyle? For instance, you get up in the morning, what did you have for breakfast and that kind of a thing?
Well, as far as I remember now, some years they was very good, some years they was very bad. The time I was going in high school, sometimes I didn't even have a bread to eat. So
it was very poor?
Very, very poor.
What period of time was that?
41, 42, 43.
Do the village, all the village stay there? They all own the land, or?
They own land. They own the land.
Did you have any other kind of people besides yourselves, like different religions, like Muslims or anything of that sort?
No.
Did you, for higher education, where would you have to go to educate yourself higher education?
If you finish the high school, after you gotta go down to Thessaloniki or Athens.
For work?
No, for higher education.
For higher education. How did your sister grow up? How did they grow up? Did they have an education? Did they have a profession? Or they grew up and married? What was their position?
Usually they're growing up and married. One of my sisters, they get in degree lawyer. She's married to a lawyer, and she has now 3 sons. 2 is a lawyer, and 1 is finished one school, mechanic airplane.
How old would that sister be now? How old would she be now?
Well, she's been now about 53, 54.
I see. And the rest of the girls?
The one is bigger than me, gotta be the first one. It's gotta be about 79. After that's coming. Another sister I have about 63. I have another one 60. And she's about 54, 57, 55, something like that. The last one.
How did the war affected your village at that particular time during 1947, 46? How affected your village was for that?
The war or the...
The war.
Yeah, but 57 you say?
No, 47.
47. Well, that was
46.
between Greeks then.
I know, but what the village was affected, was your village affected by it?
Sure affected.
What was it suffering?
Well, everybody's suffering
Were
that time.
you there during the real peak of the war?
I was there.
Can you give us a little description?
Well, the partisans come in from one side, then other people's coming from the other side, ο στρατός και η χωροφυλακή. And one night, if you want to tell you the little story,
Yes.
I was with my horse outside of the town. And I hear something, they're walking, going to the little village I live. And all of a sudden, I can't sleep, I pray that night. And I get up around 11 o'clock. I see nobody's around there in the farms. I go in behind the trees and I see the city, my town, nobody moves. Where's the partisans there? And that night they pick up about 18 boys and young girls, from a little town, and they take them over to the partisans. The same time they ask for another 7, included me, but I don't go in, and I left to Castoria. I figure more safe there, and I stayed there. The partisans keep my family, the 3 sisters, and my father and my mother. My one sister was out for 3 days and told them, if George doesn't come in to be a partisan, we kill you. We burn you in the house. The same time, I got the message somehow, and I say, well, whatever you do it, but you're going to feel sorry if you do it. And I start a letter, 10 families. I say, if something happened to my family, any one of them, you dead, every one of those 10 families. Plus that, I sent another 5 letters to different towns around me.
Around the town.
And I say, that and that and that families, I point few families, every small town there, they're going to be in trouble if something happened to my family. Because I know those families, there was with a communist party, there was, leaders to the partisan parties and things like that. And good thing, it's nothing happened, they take all the stuff, we have. They empty the house completely, they leave it with nothing.
Food and everything?
Everything.
How did you survive after that? Did the army come in during the daytime?
No, the partisans, they keep it there. But after, the neighbors, the friends, the relatives, they're helping us,
Yes.
few houses, and we survive.
Were the army in any way vicious when they came in the town, or just the partisans usually they came in at night and left at night, and then in the daytime the army came in?
No, in my town, I should say 25 days a month there was the partisans. And if they come in, army come in, it's only 1-2 hours, and they left back to Argos or Castoria.
How far in the mountains is your village? How close to Castoria is your village?
20 miles exactly, 20 kilometers exactly, and 10 miles from Argos, from Hrupist.
And how far is from Malerin?
Oh, it's more far.
It's a lot further.
Yeah, you are from another side.
Oh, okay, I see. You're on the other side of the mountain. Yes, on the other side of the mountain. Were you close to, during the period of time, the war with the partisans in Ramos? When the
No.
war was,
No.
you were not affected by that?
No.
When your sisters got married, then the village went back to normal when the war was over with the partisans?
Oh yeah,
So everything went back to normal again?
everything's coming back to normal.
So as far as you're concerned, you're a Macedonian. You were born there.
Yes, I am.
For how long? As far as you can remember.
And a little bit more, I should say.
So they were not relocated, your parents, because we have our village, and then we have like Molasi, Prosvias. They relocated into the
No.
village, and we live together.
We're, far as we know, I mean, the background, we're Macedonians, but we don't speak the Macedonian language.
Now,
We're born and raised up in that
how
land.
come? Is anybody in the village spoke Macedonian?
No.
Nobody.
No. It is few villages I can manage. Kostarazi, Bougatsiko, Skalοχώρη,
Yes.
Molasi, το χωριό μου. There nobody speaks different language except the
Except Greek.
Now, two towns, two small villages south of us, they are πρόσφυγες, αούκοι τους λέμε.
Yes.
3 towns from north of us, it's Macedonians, Slavic Macedonians, like they
Yes.
speak in the language.
Yes.
And a lot of times we go in there, we dancing, we jumping, like.
You didn't have no difficulties with them?
No, not with those people. And mind you, my best friends was guys from, they speak in Macedonian.
So there was no reason for animosity or anything?
No.
Like that. What makes you leave? Did you get married in Greece?
No.
No.
Well,
Was your father alive when you left?
yes. It's a big story if I tell you how,
Go ahead.
what makes me to leave. The time I was in army, I was in the King Palace house, like.
Yes.
I guard to the kings. And one day, they come in, some people 65, 70, 80 years, I don't know how old they was, with all kind of cameras in the front, and they taking a pictures on me. And I was now Skopos, Pulene,
Yes.
to the palace. And all of a sudden, he started talking to me, but I can't talk. I've got to be
Yes.
like Agalma. The same time, the woman, she come in and she gives me $10 over here. I can move, I can talk anything. So somebody going by that time and he understand English. And he told me, they ask him for your name, your address, to send you pictures. Now I can't talk, I can't say anything. I just say to him, the way I was like that, George Tsolakopoulos, Vasiliki Frura. You know what's mean Vasiliki Frura?
Yes.
Good. So 6 months later, I got a big envelope with not the right name, but anyhow,
Close enough.
close enough. One morning, they got the letter and they say, well, the time before we get the breakfast, we got an envelope here with pictures. We open it, and wherever they are, he's gonna come in to pick it up. That happens sometime, every 3, 4, 5 weeks. Somebody gonna have an envelope. So they open it, and they see 12 pictures. Mine. They called me there, and was $200 check for me, and a big letter. So the guy, he handed to me the envelope. He said to me, go to a so-and-so guy, you know, he speaks good English. So he explained you. I said, all right. After that, I go in there, and he tries to take me to New York. He asked me to go there. Everybody knows now, you know, I prepared myself to go to New York. But the American embassy, they say to me, no, it's not enough close relatives to take you there. And list the people, you know, they make you their own sons. They make
Yes.
the papers to take you for our own sons. And besides that, they ask him for economical and things like that. Those people, they put $50,000 that time in the bank for security. I don't want to be, how can I say it, involved with American...
Fundraising, welfare,
something
or
like that.
support.
So I got that proof, you know. I go into the American embassy, say to me, no, it's only if they make you, you know, their own sons. If they say, you know, they take you for their own son.
For kind of an adoption.
Yeah, adoption. So nothing happened there. The same time, you know, it takes about a year and a half, all those writing back and forth.
Back and forth.
So I finished the army. I come back to my town. Now I'm ashamed, you know, to stay in the town. I say to my father, doesn't matter what they want to happen to me, I want to live. Well, how can you live? So finally I come into Canada. I find somehow the way, you know, and I come into Canada.
How did you come in? What did you come with? How did you come with a boat?
With a boat.
With a boat?
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the boat?
Fredariki.
Fredariki was a Greek boat.
Yeah.
And you came with that boat. How was it inside? Was it nice?
Oh, yeah, it was nice. Nice. And I feel good, you know, because...
Were there any other kind of people, or
I
were
don't
all
get
Greeks?
sick. No, there was a lot of Macedonian people from all different cities, you know, around Castoria. And mind you, I remember a few names. One family, he got 3 kids, 3 girls, and all, you know, they make the boat make it sick.
They were all sick.
And I take him with my hands, and I take him a little bit out to get a little fresh air, and I bring him back. I try to take him something to eat and things like that. It was a pleasure. And after I come in over here,
How old were you?
that time,
Yes,
25,
25. When did you land when you got here?
55,
Where did you land?
Halifax.
In Halifax. And from Halifax to Toronto?
I come in with a train.
With the train. Now, who brought you here at that time?
A girl, one Castoria girl, she makes me the paper to come in over here to get married with her. I don't even know the girl. But just because everybody knows I'm going to America, now I can stay in the little town. And I promised I'm going to come in and marry her. So they send me the papers. No.
Yes?
They send me the papers, and I come in. John Chervenko,
Yes.
you know John Chervenko.
Yes, I do.
He was a very good friend of that family, and he was waiting for me in the Union Station to see me. I see John Chervenko in few pictures, and I recognize him. I come in with a transport, you know, with suitcases, you know. And John Chervenko calls me, Mr. Tsolakopoulos, come in over here, in Greek. I say, I think I know you. Yeah, he said to me, you wanna know me good. So he take me to their home. But at the same time, he introduced me with a family and here. You don't believe me, but that's, I swear, that's the truth. I don't think I see another woman in all my life that much ugly. For some people it was beautiful, but for my eyes, for myself, honest to God, I don't know. I swear, I said it's impossible to get that woman married. Now what's going on? So I going home. Everybody talks to me. I can't talk to anybody. I'm so upset. I say, what kind of luck I have, after all those things. And she got some nice pictures, beautiful pictures, from here they send it down, And I say, well, it's not bad, Good.
The pictures.
Yeah, the pictures. But the time I come in here, it's impossible.
How old was she?
Well, she was 9 years older than me. But that's not...
9?
Yeah, but it's nothing. That time I was 25, she was 34. That means nothing. It's not the years, believe me. I tried to talk to Mr. Chervenkos. I said, it's impossible. I can't marry her. Well, she's a nice lady, she's that. I said, all right, if she's nice. Good luck for somebody.
Did she speak the Greek language?
Oh yeah, she's from Castoria.
She's from Castoria.
So, all of a sudden, she got 2 brothers, bigger from her. Older. I said, listen, I'm sorry, we make one big mistake here. You brought me here, you don't even know me. I come in here, I don't even know you. You probably spent, $500-600. I give you triple. I don't have that money now, but I promise you I give you triple. And if you give me a chance, to stay in Canada. No, he said to me, you gotta marry my sister. I said, I don't like your sister, how can I marry? So in 1 month time, I'm supposed to marry her. I have a letter from immigration. I don't know, this is going to be a fun.
This was in Toronto.
In Toronto.
When Toronto was happening.
Yeah. They say to me, if you don't marry, in 2 weeks' time, we send you back to Greece. That's the only place I don't like to come back. If they say to me, they send me in Alaska, I'm going, but not to Greece back. So we make a date to go to get married. We're going to the church, because all Castorian people, they don't have nobody. For my family. The time comes, the priest say to me, did you want to keep this wife, this woman married for all your life, for the good days and bad days and things like that? And I say, Papa, you don't hear nothing from me, just finish what you have to do. He said, I gotta hear something. I said, ο Θεός ακούει τι λέω. Δεν θα ακούσεις τίποτε από μένα. Θες να κάνεις το μυστήριο, κάντο. Δεν θέλεις, μην το κάνεις. Αρχίζει ο παπάς και μιλάει τώρα. Τελειώνει. Gian Cervenko was kumbaro. Como? Or you can.
Yes.
He's got all kind of reservation. He sent us to Niagara Falls.
Was it did they make a large wedding? Or what kind of wedding did you have?
No, a small wedding.
Small wedding.
For them it was good wedding. For me it was bad. Because I don't have nobody. Absolutely nobody.
By yourself?
Yeah. So they put me in a bus. They take me to Niagara Falls, was the reservation there. She doesn't speak English. I don't speak English. Now just to make her mad, the time they take us over to the 8th floor or something.
The room.
Yeah. Was a girl cleaning the room. After an hour she came in, to check if everything was good there. And at the same time I see some pictures there from the hotel. And I asked him if she has some more to give me. And she said, come in, I give you. And I go in there and I say, 2 hours outside of the room. She's crying, she's screaming.
This is your honeymoon.
My day of honeymoon. So we come down, finally to eat something. We don't talk each other. We say the worst words, I should say. But anyhow, we stayed 2 days there. Supposed to stay 1 week. We left. We start from the beginning argument. Never was, good days to us, put it that way. The same time, they come in 2 kids. My daughter and my boy. They're good thing, it's a good kids.
Where did you live at that time when you got married? Did you live with your in-laws or?
The first time they bring me up, they bring me to their own home.
Yes.
In Bellevue Avenue, College and Spadina area. After I stayed there 4 years with them, I left from the house. No, I didn't stay 4 years.
Did you meet any other people, any countrymen from
lots
the
of them.
country?
Lots of them.
And
But after that.
after.
And the most of my friends was Macedonian guys. Billy Ioan, the people that had the Tiburi.
Yes.
Another Billy Ioan, he was the real estate. I don't know if you know it.
Yes.
Kyriakos Choleris. Mind you, with that guy, we come in with the same boat.
What did you do? Did you find it very difficult to learn the language?
No, not really, to be honest.
What kind of job did you take at the beginning?
From the beginning, I go into the Castoria guy food business. We make the Davy Crockett hats that time.
Yes.
But the pay was not very good. Mind you, was the relatives a little bit with my wife that time. I don't like it, so I left. And automatically I go into the construction job because I find some Greeks, they work there, and they take me there. It was good money, heavy job, but good money. And after that I start another job,
What church did you go at that time? What church did you get married to?
in Bond Street,
St. George?
St. George.
Did you find it difficult traveling? What did you travel with? Buses, streetcars?
Well, if you remember the life you're making in the whole country, over here was a lot better. I don't find it any hard,
Difficult.
No.
Did you associate it with Canadian people or strictly your own countrymen?
No, it's more Canadian people, so should I say.
You
Just-
associated with
Just the
Canadian.
working, because I had a hard time for the language from the beginning, but I try to be with Canadian peoples, with the different peoples, so I can learn more faster,
Did you enjoy the Canadian food or you still ate in the house the same kind of food as in the old country?
No, even I forgot what kind of food I eat in the whole country.
Well, beans and
No, I like the
peppers.
Canadian food.
By the way, does your village grow peppers?
Yes.
You do like peppers.
Oh yeah. Especially if they're a little bit hard,
A little bit on the hot side. Do you make pita and that kind of sort of thing?
Yes,
Does your
yes.
wife make any of those things?
Doesn't matter what she makes. I don't like it from her.
So how long did you live with this gal?
I live about 15 years. But between those 15 years, I left 3 times from the home. I have 8 courses with her that time, supporting and things like that. And since my kids, growing up a little bit, that's the reason they keep me sometime, there, to be behind them. I left.
Eventually, what kind of job did you have after that?
A cab owner, cab driver and cab owner. I come in cab owner.
You were a taxi driver.
Taxi driver and taxi owner. Even to me, the license commission gives me a plate, 2004. Because I was a good driver, honest driver, you know, and things like that. I was working for 7 years for a Jew. Good man, Mr. Goodman. He helps me a lot. And I'm very happy with him.
What transpired with your life? Did you get married again?
No. 1969, I left to Greece just to stay away from her, you know, because she was coming after me too much. I stayed there about 13 years.
In Greece?
Yes.
What did you do?
In Greece?
Yes.
A different work.
Did you stay in the village?
No. In Athens, the most.
In Athens.
And my sister, like I told you, was a lawyer, you know, and things like that. My brother was also a lawyer. And I rent a small hotel in Athens, and I management. It was a good money there.
So you never got married?
No.
And your children, they stayed with your wife?
The children stayed with my wife.
Did you enjoy the period of time you stayed in Greece? Was it peaceful at that particular time?
It was easy, but my mind, you know, was over here. And the thing brings me back, I tell you the truth, was the waiting for my son.
Your son got married here?
Yeah. And before they get married, I have some friends now, you know, after that, and they told me your boy, you know, is going with some kind of girl from Sparta. Mm-hmm. And we don't like Sparta too much because we say 100%, no, 75% of the girls from Macedonia, it's good, 25 it's bad. From Sparta we say opposite.
That's true.
75 bad and 25 good. So I don't know, good or not, but we used to say that, you know.
Yeah, I remember that reputation, yes.
And I still believe it. And I come in over here to see the girl, you know, he was going to marry her. So my son, he introduced me, we've been out a few times, we're talking to her. They're looking all right. I said, listen, my son, I can tell you, go ahead or don't go. You want to live with her? You know what I have with your mother? I can't suggest you, you know, to do anything. If you love each other, go ahead, get married. They get married and they have 2 sons. Now, they are quite happy.
Then after that you stayed here in Canada?
No, I come back again.
You go back to Greece?
Yeah, to open a business, to import some things. I bring some foods here. Mind you, I don't handle it good, or I don't know too much about the...
For business?
For business. I tell you the truth, I lost about $30,000 a time, and I stay after him.
You never went back?
No. Well, I've been back, but I've been only for a holiday.
How did you get it? Did you get involved in politics here in any way, like with the Canadian government, voting?
No.
Well, you had to vote. How did you vote?
Depends what I like. Last time Virginia told me something. You vote this man? I said, sure.
So you didn't really actually get involved to find out what kind of people they are?
No.
What would they do for the government? You just kind of do your duty and vote?
No. Not even with the Greeks and Macedonians now. They're fighting each other between, I don't know.
Can I ask you a question? What is your opinion about Macedonian United? What is your opinion? Since you are a Macedonian, what would you think if we were united and independent Macedonia?
For the united, I don't agree. But to be a Macedonian, I'm 100%, and I'm fighting with a lot of Greeks. I say this country was 3,000 years ago one of the Macedonian power, the good big country. And Alexander the Great make the Greece the one she's now.
Today, that's true.
Today. Now, if you try to say something different, it's a lie. Because I'm Macedonian. I born in that land. If I speak Chinese or
Doesn't make any difference.
English or Jewish or Greek or Slavish, that doesn't mean a thing. I born in that land was a Macedonian, and they have the name from that time to now. Now you say United Macedonia. The reason I don't agree, because I was even last year there. Except Florida, Castoria, and few more places, the 95% now over there, they are like Greeks more. You can't throw those people out.
Oh no, you can't.
Or you can make it Macedonians, Slavish Macedonians, like if you're talking straight.
Yes, the language
Right.
of the Macedonian language is Slavic.
Yeah, you
yes.
can't change them now,
You
those
can't.
peoples, because the Greek politics, you gotta come back a little bit late. I mean back. They bring the Turks, the proceeds there,
Yes.
and they put it there, and those people, they fighting with Macedonians. You know that.
Well, the reason is, like for instance, we are here and they live in our homes and our land.
Right.
So that is not really a good thing.
No, I don't say it is.
Yes.
But we're gonna throw him out now, that person. He's been there, 50 years. You think it's easy to throw him out? I know that's your home.
Mm-hmm.
I know your father's home. But how can we do that?
Well, was it proper for the government to allow those people to take over other people's land?
No. But if it's a war, somebody gonna lose and somebody gonna win.
Do you believe that the Macedonian people were treated fairly?
No. Doesn't treat it fairly. That's the mistake they made.
You see, I hear your sister got educated, yourself got educated, you were in the army. I come from a village of 2,000 people, and we had only one educated person, one teacher. We were not allowed, we didn't have a school.
That's the reason I say, I agree 100% with you. Doesn't treat it right. Besides that, the worst thing Metaxas makes, they try to teach the people's now 80 years old person to learn what? Now, if somebody come in and say to me, speak Chinese, how can I speak Chinese? Even by mistake I'm going to speak English or Greek, and I'm going to be punished. It's not right. That's the mistake they make. Doesn't treat them nice. If they treat them nice, maybe those people, they're going to forget and they're going to learn the language. Same like your son or my son, today, they learn English, and after one generation more too, they're going to be forget
Canadians.
where they come from. Even they're going to forget.
Do you believe, this is only your opinion, that who can cause more trouble for Greece? The Macedonians or the Albanians, which there is a tremendous amount of Albanians in Greece? Who can cause more harm to Greece that they have to watch for, the Macedonians or the Albanians? To your best knowledge.
Right now, I think it's the Albanians. Before, if you come back a little bit back, not the Macedonians, forget the Macedonians, the Bulgarians. Greece, they have two people doesn't like it too much, the Bulgarians and the Turks. Albanian, just because it's a small country, just because something, they never
But they allow them to infiltrate. There is a tremendous amount of Albanians in Greece.
Yes, because they say that time, you know, a few years ago now, the government in Albania was a dictator, and those people, they treat him like the Macedonians they treated him before.
Yeah.
And some of them, they left. They come into Greece to survive.
Refugees, in a sense.
Right. Same thing, some of the Macedonians, they left in Bulgaria. That time, I mean 36, 37. That treatment, any country they make, it's not good. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, I do.
So, that's the reason a lot of people now doesn't like each other. But I'll be honest, I don't like to get in that position.
Well, no.
But my idea, like I say,
I'm only asking your opinion.
yeah, the teachers that time doesn't work properly. The time I was going to school in a small classes, I should say, they say the Turks and the Bulgarians, they have one eye. They eat each other. They're doing that, they're doing that. And like, you know, a kid you go from a small town, takes me a long time to find out what kind of people they have in Bulgaria or in Turks, you know, or someplace. Did you believe it or not? I go into the army in Athens. And someplace we drink together, you know, with another soldiers. And somebody was behind us. And I said, where do you come from? You know, what part of Greece do you come from? He said to me, I'm from Bulgaria. I said, what? I remember now, if he's from Bulgaria, he's guy. It's not a joke, believe me. And they say, how come you are from Bulgaria over here? And he say, ήταν από το διπλωματικό σώμα.
Yes.
Δηλαδή πραγματικά αναγνωρισμένος, ας πούμε, και αυτά. And I have hard time to believe it, and we've been friends after that, you know. We meet each other, and I told him the story. He's laughing, I laughing, you know. And he speaks Greek too, you know, because he was in the council there. And it surprised me. I said the Bulgarian, you know, doesn't have one. And I started thinking, you know, a little bit stronger at that time, because I've been to finish the school, I've been to a high school, you know, for 3 years. But I told him, you know, for a joke, the teacher was teaching me like that, the time I was. So that's I say, the politics was very, very wrong in that case. But I don't want to come back to the United. I can see it.
Let's for instance, they did get united. What would you think? Would you be happy to go back to your village?
I want to go just the same.
No, you would do the same.
Oh yeah. Unless they would treat me different.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No, because that's your home, that's your
That's
land.
it.
Doesn't make any difference.
That's what I believe.
Yes, that's true.
I want to go just the same, you know, if it's everything nice and quiet.
Yes.
If it's a word or if it's any fights or if it's any, you can sleep good, definitely I better go to Miami and not over there.
So in other words, you're as far as you're concerned, that chances are very slim for Macedonia to be united due to the fact that most of the Macedonian people which are in Thessaloniki and in the larger cities, they are very in tune with the Greek language and Greek education.
That's right.
So that would
That's
be,
right. I see
that
it.
would not happen.
I see it's a very, 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 how can I say, very small change, you know, to see those things.
Because I remember that.
Unless, to tell you one thing, I say that a long time ago, if the Russian was a power and take all the Balkans right to the waterfront, you know,
Yes.
And they give him the rights to keep quiet. Everybody, you are Macedonian, good luck to you. You are a Greek, good luck to you.
Yes.
With no flex, the Macedonians, they might be united that time. Different way.
If, let's say, with the European market now, which they want to unite Europe, because Macedonia is Europe, it is not really in the Balkan when you really think about it. Let's say if they unite, if the European market opens up and open borders per se, and Macedonia already now is recognized as a country and a full name, and eventually they're going to have their own currency in a short period of time. Now, once those borders are open, wouldn't you think that the people would spread, go home free?
They might go home free, but like I say,
they would populate, let's put it this way, they would populate their own lands. Some of them, they're still empty.
No. Well, if they're still empty, you might go and take it. But usually they take all the lands there.
There's no land left
No.
for the people.
Somebody has the land today. Even if your cousin or something, if your land is empty, or some cousins looking after that land, you might go and take it. But somehow, if somebody else take over, and he build up a house, or if he do something, I can't see it, to throw him out.
For people to take over their home and their land
Their own
where
home,
they used
their
to.
father's home.
Their father's home.
Right.
I believe that wasn't very fair to the people.
I admit it, and I say it's not good. But was a mistake from the government. They make the laws. You live from that town. We take your property. Twice. And I feel sorry for myself because every time I talking to somebody, he helps me a lot and he's very easy to write. If I go into Greece, included me, we don't even speak their own language. Special, we're north. So, it's no education, no schools there. I agree with you.
So if the people are dissatisfied and they're looking for something better, then I don't see really anything that wrong if they unite. Like, doesn't make any difference what language you speak. You're Macedonian, that's your homeland.
Well, if they be free, if they united only, I think, with our common law, whatever they call them,
The common market.
the common market. Different way. They're going to be arguments, they're going to be fights, they're going to be...
Because we have now, we're speaking in Greece. For instance, you go in the Republic of Macedonia, they make ceramics, they make coal, they have gold mines, they have an industry. In Macedonia, which is north of Greece, we're not allowed to have anything. We don't have no industry, we don't have absolutely nothing to provide us with a job except the piece of land that we live on.
Oh, right now it's not true, they start making few things.
What are they making? Are they developing the land?
Oh yeah, they make even factories, things like that. But that's beside the point. The point is, the people, they are not be able to come in together, to sit together.
They've been apart too long.
That's what I believe.
So the only thing would bring them, in your opinion, together is some power of union and
That's
freedom.
That's only, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. But like I say, if you go now to Salonika or to someplace down, south, and you try to put a different flag from the Greeks are going to fight like a ducks. And also from the other side, they're going to do the same thing, and they're going to be arguments. If they're united with something else. I think it's my idea.
A superpower.
With a superpower. No Greek flag, no Macedonian flag, but you put a European flag or something, you know, or something power, you know, like Germans, Turks, or Macedonians, but you gotta be, you know, one, not two. It's impossible. I can't see it.
Coming back here, what happened to your daughter? Did she get married?
Yes.
To a Greek or
No, to the Italian guy.
an Italian guy? How did you manage with that, them being Catholics and that sort of thing?
Well, he was a businessman. He's a businessman. And she was a bookkeeper for a little while. And they make it, and they have 2 daughters now.
What does, are they close to your wife? Are they close with their mother? Do you see them? Do you see your kids very often?
I see my boy almost twice a week, if I don't say 3. But with my daughter, no, because she lives with my wife.
Oh, they live together. I see. How do you find it here in Canadian Macedonian place? How's your life here?
Very good.
What made you come to this place?
We have the store here, you know, in the corner, the Petro-Canada garage.
Yes.
My own son, you know, owned it. And I come in here for food. I come in here, you know, for drinks and things like that. Take him to the garage. I used to know the people. Beside that, John Chervengo, he's my como, you know. We never stop to see each other. So all of a sudden one day I have a little argument with my son. I was living with my son. I say to myself, where you have to go now, George? I try a few places. I from Kumbar, and I told him, you know, Master. He said, why you not going down there? It's a good idea, I say, you know. And I come in over here. To me, it's no problem.
Do you enjoy the place?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
And like I say, Pandili, you know Pandili? That old man, you know.
Well, the man who constantly talks?
No, not Tasco.
Which one?
His daughter getting married to Chris Ioannou.
Oh, yes, I know him. Yes.
If you say him and Chris Ioannou, you know how long I know Chris Ioannou?
Chris is a very nice man.
I know, and very good friends. From 1956. And we're still friends that long, you know. The time he's, how can I? My best friend was the Macedonian guys. I mean, Macedonian myself too, but to explain you, it's a Slavish Macedonian.
Yes, they speak the Slavic language.
Yeah, and they like the Slavish different, you know.
Well, George, it was very nice talking to you.
Well, thank you very much. It was a little bit unexpected, that interview.
Well, I enjoy talking to you. The difference of opinion, they're very important to
I
us.
hope my ideas, you know, I don't know if it's good or not, but that's what I believe like, what I say.
Well, we have to state our opinions for the future of our children. Perhaps maybe your grandchildren would be able to see this state many years from now.
Oh yeah,
And
you never know.
thank you very much.
Thank you too.